going on. We will tell you for free that Raji can't go for tier 10. I was struggle here now. Raji can't go for tier 10.
What happened? Raji go for tier 10.
Raji can't. 2026, Raji can't. You go. Now Raji 10 or 2026, Raji should leave. Raji can't go tier 10. We know what Raji is explaining. We know. Our stakeholder are not stupid. I think they understand that the Telugu Diana when I even know the appointment of the new coach. You see how that thing is looking? The Telugu Diana don't know how to know a appointment either. How? So how Raji didn't run it for you can work for us.
So Koyo, I know the president rushed to rush on the show to give clarity, the so-called clarity. Not so-called clarity because everything the president explaining is not true. It's not true. Koyo, I'm telling you because they.
Listed from Weekend Sports on Freedom 87.9. What a pleasant way to welcome all of you to Liberia's biggest sports program, the Freedom Weekend Sports with me, Thomas Kojo-Rolla. And our usual Stanislas Matter always in the building. Stanislas works for the BBC. He's a very veteran sports journalist. As a matter of fact, he's versatile. We have too many things to talk about this afternoon on the Weekend Sports. We'll look at the polls, National County Sports Meet activities. We'll run through it. The second phase of the Orange National First and Second Division League kickoff of recent. The death of player Amara Kamara of Blackman Warriors will be our major talking point this afternoon. The president of the Liberia Football Association has responded to criticism from his critics, those he referred to as his critics. We'll bring you upset, we'll read you stories, and we'll analyze it. We'll also have the time to speak with the Deputy Minister for Sports at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, G. Ande Kwame, who informed us that he's unable to be in studio due to some tight schedules. And then on today, the Liberia Basketball Association will be hosting their award ceremony. Edwin Famula comes from the Liberia Basketball Association. He'll chip in a bit, maybe 2-3 minutes, with a rundown about activities leading to the award ceremony this evening. And good news for Liberia. One of the many chess players in Liberia will be representing the country this year in the USA chess event. The good news is you just qualify. You receive 2,000 on a daily basis as a player to participate in the competition. That is now good news. It is a good news on the Weekend Sports. Tanisha is here. Tanisha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Thomas. It's not one of my best Saturdays. As a matter of fact, 2 funerals yesterday. My prayer mother, a mother to all of us who came across her, Dorcas, Hannah Blamo, Kun Blamo rather, popularly known as Tutu Girl, was laid to rest yesterday. It was, funeral as always, not too many crowds, maybe because she was a spiritual person or we are cried a lot, but it was a touching ceremony. The bishop of the Methodist Church, Jerome Choir, delivered the funeral discourse, very touching one. And then also one of our football administrators, Harrington Weir, a lot of us know him, or some of us know him to be Operation. Yesterday also was his funeral. In fact, I forgot, I was reminded by the first vice president, Professor Sekou Kone, that he was at the funeral, and he had not seen me. He sent me a text, and that was good of him. And, but by the time I got there, he was on his way to another honorary program for Dr. Hassan Content, So, but we pray that God will grant Turuge and Harrington and all faithful departed internal rest. Yeah.
Well, it is why it is. I hope you can take heart. We do not judge God about this time.
Yeah, we
and
can.
We will not judge God.
No, and we all. I mean, our time will come.
Our
we
time
will all
will come,
go.
yes.
Yeah, one after.
Death is appointed unto men.
Yes.
So that time will come.
Yeah, they say. I think it's in the play Julius Caesar. Caesar said, written by William Shakespeare. Caesar said, "Death is a necessary end. It will come when it will come." Yeah.
Okay. It will come when it will come. Well, we will have to speak with the Deputy Minister for Sports, Mr. Ande Kwame. There is this report, it's now being confirmed by the Ministry of Youth and Sports that indeed an individual died during the fun of the National County Sports Meet. And we're also getting report that indeed a communication has been sent to the Liberia Football Association that the CAF wants to know exactly what transpired at the SKD Sports Complex. What was that game about? Because the County Sports Meet is now a CAF or FIFA related game. So they want to know what transpired. They were on social media. But they report the death of somebody and the overcrowdedness of the field that saw over 100 individuals were fainting, dropping by the dayside. Journalist Roland Banuka got injured. He has to be taken to JFK for a couple of hours. He was discharged in the morning thanks to the leadership of the Sports Writers Association, who went in to actually ensure that he was taken or he was transferred from the medical room at the SKD where patients were being treated, and at the same time, after receiving treatment, they had to use the window to throw them out because there were more people who were coming in. So Ande Kwame is the Deputy Minister for Sports. The last time I was at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, I spoke with Oxford Brown, who is the media manager there. He did not confirm to me if a communication has been sent to them from the Liberia Football Association about what the LFA received from CAF. That indeed they want to know what actually happened on that fateful day. So, Danishos, let me get Minister Ande Kwame on the line. As a matter of fact, Kwame was to be here today as our guest, but due to some tight schedules, he's unable. So let's try to see if we can get Minister Ande Kwame on the line. He's the Deputy Minister for Sports at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We now have Minister Ande Kwame. Good afternoon. You are on the Freedom Weekend Sports with me and Danishos Mate.
Thank you, sir.
How's everything with you?
Wow, God money me.
I like that. I like that.
The National County Sports Meet 2024-2025 came to an end over the weekend. What is the update from the Ministry of Youth and Sports?
Well, okay, thank you. Firstly, we want to say our thanks and appreciation to all those journalists and media houses who cover the National County Sports Meet successfully. We want to say thank you. Though there were challenges with the police, with our stewards, with the entry to the stadium, with entry to the media preview, there were a lot of challenges. We want to say our apology, whatever may have gone wrong with the media, with the fans, spectators who gear up to see the final, the quarterfinal, and the semi-final. There were challenges. We want to apologize to whoever that may have fell victim to circumstances that were beyond our control. Okay. We also want to say our thanks and appreciation to our sponsors, our partners, our stakeholders, the government of Liberia, and all those who help us one way or the other to make sure that the national campaign ended successfully.
Well, Minister Kwame, there is this report. I want to know if you guys have been informed by the Liberia Football Association about a communication coming from CAF, wanting to know, allegedly coming from CAF, wanting to know what exactly transpired at the.
Have you seen the communication?
No. I have not seen the communication. We're just informed by the president of the Liberia Football Association. Are you guys in a know of that communication?
Yes, we're as a matter of fact, I'm a member of the CAF Security Committee. I'm not Security Committee. I'm a member of the Security Officer. I'm a member of that department. Okay. So I was even contacted before that letter came to Liberia. Yes, I'm aware.
Another issue have to do with the stadium was jam-packed with capacity. We saw people fainting by the day. I mean, not by the day, but by the seconds. As the game was going on, they were dropping people.
Come on, Roller. Reverend Bishop Roller, Reverend Roller song. You ready again?
No, Minister. Minister, I'm concerned. Those that were in the stadium and those that were outside, we have thousands of Liberians who are outside with their tickets. How come, Minister, we have surplus of tickets? People bought their ticket and they couldn't make their way.
1 second. You can't talk and get people some more time.
Go ahead, Minister.
1 second. Unfortunately, the Minister of Youth and Sport was not in charge of ticketing. The ticketing, the part of the country was outsourced to a company called Vision Print.
Okay.
And I'm not sure whether there were tickets overly printed. I was not on that committee, but that I can say it was not true.
Okay.
You know, country me in Liberia, you know the story.
I know.
There will be some police, there will be some stewards, there will be some other people. Oh, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my nephew. You will bring them in outside of the proper ticket arrangement. So these are issues that is difficult to handle. But how be it? Yes, the fee was jam-packed to a capacity. There were people in there, but unfortunately, that person who died, Satama, was not as a result of that.
Yeah,
he
sure.
was celebrating with Lofa. It was after the game when everybody had left. He was celebrating with Lofa. Satama is from Lofa. He's a GC boy. He was jumping over the fence, coming back, doing it. I think he did it 1 or 2 times. The third time, unfortunately, he got poked on the fence, and that's how he dropped. So it was not as a result of either concussion from the stadium or heat from the stadium. No.
Okay. The economy is now over. Many are concerned about the issue of what countries now stand to benefit from gate intake, money generated, because the pitches across the country are bad. When Mr. President was taking over, he said it would not be business as usual. And you, one of the ministers, one of the lieutenants of the president, what is the Ministry of Youth and Sports planning to do now? Because the pitches are bad.
Yeah, right now we are in conversation with the Liberia Football Association. I think they have some offer that they are looking for a matching fund from FIFA. We are in conversation. That I cannot say already on this radio now that yet we'll be doing FIFA fee across the country with the Liberia Football Association. But with that conversation ongoing for the government to also do the matching fund with FIFA to make sure that we contribute to the LFA own initiatives. Yes, country is over. The gate intake, like I said, there were private company hired to do the ticketing. So they have not reported yet to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. But all countries that came to Monrovia in the quarterfinal, be it football team or keyboard team, stands to benefit as well. So government of Liberia also have to get some of that revenue. So unfortunately, I'm Deputy Minister for Sports. I don't deal with finance, so the finance people will do their work. Once those information are provided to us, we will give them to the public.
Is this how it has been done over the past time?
Yeah, every time. That's the procedure.
Okay, Minister.
Every country that participates in the quarterfinal benefit from the gate intake.
Okay, Minister. Thank you very much. We hope we can have you in studio one of the Saturdays.
Yeah, hopefully they can be Saturday. If all things are equal, I will surely be.
Okay, thank you. Ade Kwame is the Deputy Minister for Sports at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So that concludes our rounds. Let's talk to Mr. Edwin Famule, we anticipating the call of Mr. Edwin Famule at about this time. He's the chair on the competitions committee at the Liberia Basketball Association. The award ceremony for the LBA for the just ended league season will be held this evening at the gymnasium, the Pittsburgh Gymnasium, there at the SKD Sports Complex. So Edwin Famule is the chair on competition. We now have Mr. Famule on the line. Mr. Famule, good afternoon. Welcome to the Weekend Sports.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
How is the Basketball Association doing at about this time?
You know what? We're trying to get all the last minute things done so we can have a successful closing of the 2024 National Basketball League and try to open the 2025 league.
Okay, so let's talk about the award, the award ceremony on today. Do you care to give our rundown about the respective awards that will be presented on today?
Well, you know, I'm not the chair on the awards committee. EC Eugene Clark is, but I am in the know. that the MVPs award in all 4 categories will be given out. The championship awards, you guys already know who won first, second, third, and female. They have award on the highest rebounder, the highest block shots, the most assists, the highest score, and the list goes down. We're not changing nothing. I mean, it's a similar thing that we're doing. I mean, basketball awards don't change yearly. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's the same award every year that we give out.
Same award every year that are normally presented to winners.
Right.
Well,
and individuals.
okay.
And individuals for their outstanding performances on the court.
Mr. Formula, one may be concerned. The basketball season comes to an end. We do not see official presentations of the trophy when the season just comes to an end. We have to wait until 2-3 months. Why is it is always like that?
Yes, we tried that in 2016. Right after the final game, we gave out the trophies and everything to the various teams. So we talked about this thing last in our ECB group earlier, and it's something that we're looking at to bring it back.
Okay.
In 2016, you know that when they won the awards, they had T-shirts and caps given out to them, and the awards was presented to them on the court with the spectators all celebrating and jubilating with the championship team.
Okay.
So we're looking at bringing that thing back. But the question here is, then how do we give out the MVP, the highest block shots, and all the other awards that come within that season? Do we have another program for them to give it out? So it's a touch and go issue. So we're looking at resolving that pretty soon.
When exactly the program is expected to kick off on today?
Okay, so the program is expected to kick off today, Saturday, the 8th of February, from 5 to 8. So it's at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Is it?
We can get out of there.
Is it an open program that anyone can just walk into, or you guys extend an invitation to Liberians?
No, it's an open program. We invited, we sent out invitations to those who we felt have helped basketball and are in tune with basketball throughout the years. So, but it's an open program. I just heard from the chair of the program, EC Eugene Clark, that it's either African attire or formal wear. So he tried to step it up this year a little bit. I know there was talk that we should have a red carpet and do this and have a nice program, but the funds was not available. So we had to revert back to the SKD.
Thank you, Mr. Famole.
No, you're welcome.
Edwin Famole is the chair on the competition committee at the Liberia Basketball Association. They're filling in with the latest running through during the course of the week. There was the Orange Cup that was taking place during the course of the week. Let's see if we can get that on our plate. Bring you a round of results from the Orange Cup in the both male and female category. So the Orange Cup continues during the course of the week. But I run you through with features schedule for today, the 8th of February, having 11 will toss against Invisible 11 RE at the SKD's practice page by 3:30 p.m. while Leska and Sano MPA will be in action 4:30 p.m. at the Tusa field. Also in the women's category, F injured will go against Nini Warriors, Basket Girls against Ambassadors, and Small Town will welcome Wargers. And then run you through with the results teams that are through to the next round of the competition in the Orange Cup. Ghana VFC got a 4-0 win over District 17. District 17 was a team that eliminated big spenders and current league toppers, FC Fasio. On yesterday, they suffered a 4-0 defeat to Ghana VFC. Jubilee FC and Samara also booked their respective slots to the next round of the Orange Cup. Shatter Angels qualified to the next round. They got a 2-1 win. Determined Girls switch Bourgeois Queens 6-2 to book their place in the next round of the competition. Samurai for the part, they got a 5-4 penalty shootout win over First Division Tattoo Chaser Bay Mountain after regular time in the wanted peace. We inform you that the death of Amara Kamara has been on the news for some time. The president of the Liberia Football Association has responded to his critics. They get an asset of that. That will be our talking point. Let also inform you that Liberia is at the moment participating in the 2025 Honor 23 African Women, or we call it the Wheelchair Basketball Championship, taking place in Pretoria, South Africa. Liberia is participating in that competition for the first time in many years. We have a representation there in the competition that is taking place in Pretoria, South Africa. They run you through with some assets. The National County Sports Net Owner Incorporated presented 4.8 million to cash prize winners in the competition. Champions and individual winners all receive money. And our talking point this afternoon will have to do with the situation of the late player Amara Kamara, which of course we regret the passing of that player. And Danishas Matter is here. I'm here. A story done by the Liberian investigator says Liberia Football Association President Mustafa Raji has called for a holistic review of circumstances that led to the death of 17-year-old footballer Amara Kamara. Kamara died on January 28, 2025, while en route to Ghana for spinal cord surgery after sustaining an injury during an LFA First Division League match between his club, Blackman Warriors, and B Mountain on January 8, 2025. The incident occurred at the D2S Sports Pitch in Newtown, Bourgeois Island, where the player reportedly suffered a spinal injury in a challenge while leveling the score at 3-3 for Blackman Warriors. Critics of Raja administration have since blamed the football administration for failing to ensure medical preparedness at the time of injury. There was no ambulance at the stadium, forcing Kamara to be transported to Redemption Hospital in a regular vehicle. Responding to criticism during an engagement with Sports Press on Wednesday, the 5th of February 2025, Raji expressed regret over the young footballer's passing, but insisted that the LFA should not bear the sole responsibility. He urged sports journalists to be fair in their criticism. We regret the situation, but we must also be balanced as journalists. We should look at the entire picture holistically. Let's be real and feed the pain, but politicizing such matter is unfair, he said. Raji emphasized that the LFA is not a healthcare institution and that ambulances serve only as first responders rather than a situation for critical medical emergencies. First of all, we deeply regret the death of Amara, but we must clarify that ambulances are meant for first response. They do not solve the entire problem, Raji said. He highlighted the broad issues of Liberia's poor healthcare infrastructures, noting that Kamara's injury occurred just a short distance from Redemption Hospital, yet the facility was unable to handle his case, necessitating his transfer to two other hospitals. The player got injured at a pitch just a minute away from a hospital. He was taken there, but they could not handle it. The LFA is not a hospital. He was then transferred to JFK and later to Catholic Hospital. So I don't believe this was simply an issue of ambulance availability. That's the first thing we need to correct, Raji stressed. According to him, many hospitals in Liberia lack ambulances and basic medical equipment needed to handle emergency situations. Raji further argued that the issues of ambulances at match venues is not just about the responsibility of the Liberia Football Association, but a national problem affecting the entire country. For over 50 match venues nationwide, he maintained that ambulances should be stationed at these locations by hospitals and clinics, not the Football Association. He also pointed out that Liberia's broader healthcare crisis had led to preventable deaths beyond football, including among pregnant women's children and the elderly in both urban and remote areas. In December 2024, during a discussion with the interim leadership of the Club President Association, Raji proposed that clubs use their subvention funds to purchase ambulances for league matches. He disclosed that providing ambulances for league games will cost the Football Association approximately $80,000 annually, a expense he described as unsustainable for the Liberia Football Association. Meanwhile, to mitigate this situation, the LFA US president has announced plans to introduce an emergency vehicle system for transporting injured players during league match. He revealed that efforts to renew a previous contract with the Liberia National Red Cross Society have been unsuccessful. Well, Tanishus, that is an excerpt right there. Really, line by line, what was said by the president of the Football Association in a response.
I would have thought you have played the excerpt from the press conference. So I came with a dossier, of information as if I was about to do a presentation for a degree, So, but with 29 minutes to go, I'm not too sure.
We can run
through all that I've prepared. But let me I've been waiting for this moment since unfortunately Amara passed, because long before Amara passed, you wrote a story for the Investigator on this same platform, on other platforms, all right, even stakeholders like Emmett Glasgow, like Chris Weir, even like Cassell Koo, Bamba, the CC United president, Mohamed Bamba, and others. They've stressed this point about the lack of medical facility, medical personnel at league games. The Football Association, first, it was when we discussed the rules back in May, when we had the discussion on the rules at the football headquarters.
Yeah.
That issue was raised. We asked the president, the Secretary General of the Football Association, Mr. Emmett Creighton, and he was responding to a question and say, Danisha, since you think we don't have ambulances at league venue, first he said there are plans by the LFA to buy ambulance. I was looking for the SF is here. It's just that maybe we don't have the time. He said the FA is in the plans to procure ambulances. I said, are you sure? Why, if the league starts and we do not see an ambulance or we do not see ambulances? He said, then you can report me to CAF or to FIFA. And I thought he was being very cheeky. Be that as it may, we left it. In October, when the league started, the president, October 4, the president was on ELBC, I think, to talk about some other footballing issues. And I called. And I called on ELBC. I said, Mr. President, the league have started, all right? And you have in the rules plans to punish clubs who do not come with medical personnel, $20,000 Liberian dollars per match. But the FIFA medical protocol obligates member associations to have ambulances in addition to qualified medical personnel at all games under their jurisdiction. How come you have not made that provision, but yet you want to punish clubs? The president calls me an angry man who left the Football Association, used the Football Association letterhead to resign. And in fact, he said, I should go to FIFA and report to FIFA. Now, here we are. We go to play a league game in January. There is no ambulance at the T2F field. Amara Kamara, right? Kamara sustains an injury, and he had to be put on the team's bus, taken to Redemption. Redemption could not attend to him. They went to JFK. But after Amara passed, I saw, comments from two journalists, and I'm not going to miss my words. One from Theophilus Clark Wesley. A lot of us call him T. Clark Wesley. Okay. And another one from what's the lady name? Used to be with Prime FM. Fatoumata Barry.
Okay.
Yes. What they deliberately did, and in ignorance of the reality, was to blame the government. Now, Mr. Clark Wesley says he doesn't want to get involved into the politics of our football, because the last time I was on the OK Conversation, he called, I beg you, in your politics, I just want to do my sport promotion. But I think now from the post that I saw from Mr. Clark Wesley after the death of Amara, it suggests that Mr. Clark Wesley now is in the politics of the football, and he has sought to blame, or he is blaming the government, just as the president of the Football Association did. The correlation is Clark Wesley works for, he's the media manager for Liska FC. Liska FC is owned by Mustafa Raji. Mustafa Raji is the president of the Football Association. So you see the correlation. So Mr. Wesley blames the government and the country as a whole for not having the medical facility to treat Amara. Even an ambulance, there is no ambulance in the country, which is purely a black and a blatant lie. How does the president goes to a press conference and say there is no ambulance or there are no ambulances in the country, and the president is blaming the government for a lack of medical provision to treat Amara Sarko? Yes, you can. Amara Kamara, rather. Yes, we can blame the government. We can blame the government, but Macaulay Somba, John Macaulay Somba, he has a parable from front page. He has a parable, very interesting, and I just thought about it. Macaulay says a parent or parents who cannot provide food for their children at home, they lack the moral rectitude to beat that child when the child goes next door to beg for food.
Yes, certainly indeed.
So the president of the Football Association, the journalists who are blaming the government, Tikla and Fatoumata, cannot blame the government now when the Football Association did not meet up with his bargain. Do we have ambulance as a score for in the FIFA medical protocol? And it's even in the rules. The LFA rules. The LFA rule, let me see. Let me go to that part. So I'll read it for our listeners. Chapter 7, section 2.3, attendance of qualified medical personnel. Section D says the LFA shall keep an emergency vehicle or an ambulance and a crew on standby at match venues. It's in the LFA rules, the LFA itself. It says it is mandatory that all clubs have qualified medical practitioners in attendance at every league authorized games throughout the course of the season. The absence of a medical team at any match for a given club shall lead to the club being fined $5,000 Liberian dollars per match. So the LFA says this is what we'll do, and this is what the club will do. Was there an ambulance provided by the LFA on January 8th at the D12E? No.
There was no ambulance.
There was no ambulance.
But this is Mr. President argument. Mr. President is saying that it is costly.
So
to get ambulance.
I know
50 venues.
No, we do not have 50 venues.
No,
as per,
you are just saying because he couldn't tell.
So he should not exaggerate the facts.
Yes,
he should not exaggerate the facts. As per the LFA regulations, it says it recognize the venues.
We should be having at most 6-7
major
venues.
I'm not coming.
So that's the view of Mr. President, that indeed to get ambulance, the last time he said
so we have I think 7 venues.
It will cost LFA 80,000 per ambulance on an annual basis, and all of the venues need ambulance because an ambulance can be stationed to the SKD practice page, and then something happened D12, the ambulance get running from here to D12. That's the point of argument. The point of argument was the player sustained an injury just 2 minutes drive or walk away from a medical facility.
So
Redemption Hospital.
So what the president, I just told you about Somba's parable.
I know. I live
fine. The president cannot be the moral high priest to talk about redemption and other governmental facilities lacking, medical equipment or provision of medicine.
Okay.
He cannot be the medical high priest. All right. He is as guilty as charged. He's a sinner in this situation because he did not provide his bargaining. If there was an ambulance on standby, in keeping with the FIFA medical protocol, in keeping with the LFA rules for the current season that is on, and the ambulance had taken Amara to redemption,
and he died.
Unfortunately, he passed.
We can't blame the FA. No,
then
in that point,
then we would have now asked ourselves to say, okay, as an institution, we play our part.
yes,
The government of the day
failed.
failed to play its part.
So
Here's another part I want to zero on. So, in addition to the post by the journalist, Mr. Clark Wesley says, in fact, there were attempts by, and this is the lie, right? There were attempts by black men warriors to find a plane, that would have accommodated Amara and 2 other persons, but they could not. There's a lady who does ticketing for the Football Association. She's versed in this airline hospitality stuff by the name of Tracy. She did a post. She responded to Clark Wesley's post and said, listen, this is, misleading. You don't do this. The truth of the matter is, Black Men Warrior as a club did not have the money.
You could not afford. Yeah.
You could not afford because,
but how can
I come in. When you pass by Redemption, Redemption did not have a medical, they not have the equipment and all the things to attend to Amara. You pass by Redemption, you pass by Mawak. There's a private facility called AMR right opposite the Onmill HQ. Didn't Black Men Warriors see at AMR, right? They do surgery for spinal and other stuff at AMR. The president of the Football Association can go there and confirm me or prove me wrong. Anybody listening, go to AMR. If AMR is on, I spoke to AMR, right? If they can provide an air service to say, okay, maybe I'm critically ill and whatever that I'm being diagnosed of cannot be done at AMR. They can provide I know they call it air bus or what, but an ambulance service in the air that will take me to a referral. So the truth of the matter is, Black Men Warriors, the Football Association, and the 2 journalists, Clark Wesley and Fatoumata Barry, want to blame the government. Yes, we can rightly hold the government responsible, but we can hold the Football Association also responsible for negligent homicide. Because in all instances, and all has been proven that the Football Association is culpable in relation to the death of Amara because it did not provide its bargaining as called for in the FIFA medical protocol in their own rules. Now they want to negate that part. All right, Black Men Warriors. If Nelson Menye, alias Zico, if he has the balls, if he has the guts, he must write to the Independent National Human Rights Commission to hold the FA responsible for negligent homicide. He should write to the Ministry of Justice to hold the FA responsible for negligent homicide. Let the FA now go and tell the government, say, you are responsible too, because you as a country, all right, or as an institution for the day supervising the affairs of all of us, you did not provide your bargaining. And let's have what I would call a case study of legal and medical case before the court to see who do we. But as it is now, I've spoken to at least 3 lawyers. I've presented the facts to them. The Football Association, through its president, Mr. Mustafa Ishola Raji, can be held for negligent homicide in relation to the death of Amara Kamara.
I think Fatu is responding to you, but go ahead.
Well, she's entitled to. I mean, she needs to go and read it's good that she's listening. So, Fatu, you can check the FA rules, chapter 7, section 2.3D. I think it's the last chapter, the last part before MS Creighton's signature, or before they go to the provision where they talk about the award. If you don't have the rules, you can drop your email address right under your post. I'll forward the rules to you so you can read there and see what the FA says in their own rule. Then I'll forward to you the FIFA medical protocol where it says also. And then when you read what the FIFA medical protocol says, when you read what the FA has in its own rules, and then you can decide now whether you still want to blame the government or not to blame the government. But you can't hold the government in isolation. I thought the post for you and Tikla was ill-informed, ill-researched, and that's why I have mentioned you. What you cleverly try to do was to exonerate the LFA, from the death of Amara Kamara and blame the government, of the day. So if I'm home and I'm supposed to take a fancy that 3 fancy that, and I take 3 fancy that, and they carry me to redemption, and redemption cannot attend to me, and I pass off. So we blame the government too, because there is no medical facility at redemption, or government did not put public service announcement on the air that when you are sick from malaria, don't take 3 fancy that, or don't overdose yourself with amodiaquine or tusinate. Yes, there are cases all around the world where we can hold people for medical medical malpractices. I mean, there is a case now at the Liberia Dental Medical Council where there's a student from, I think, St. Edward one, Benedicto, he passed off. There's a case that where the family is holding St. Joseph Catholic Hospital, St. Joseph Catholic Hospital responsible. There's another story I read in the front page and Daily Observer where another family is holding JFK responsible. In fact, Representative Edward Ford, 2014, he sued the government of Liberia for medical malpractice. Unfortunately, he lost the case. So there are instances where we can hold people responsible for medical malpractices, whether it's an institution, whether it's an individual. In this situation with Amara Kamara, the post from you and Tikla was ill-informed, ill-researched, and I'm sending you the rules. I'll send it to your messenger so that you can read the rules. I'll send the medical protocol also to you so that you can also read it. Go on a Tikla post on Facebook when he made that comment. There's a lady there called Tracy. She responded to Tikla. Go and read what she wrote. It will help to give you a better understanding. But I mean, like you can stand by a story like the guy who wrote and said, a prominent person died, the woman who supported came back and said, no, I'm still alive, and the man stand by my story. So you can stand by a story, but I'm telling you what the FA has said in this rule, and go and speak to any lawyer about negligent homicide. Whether in this situation we can hold the FA, culpable and hold them for negligent homicide. Go and find out also. So I don't come on the radio or I don't write because I feel I have the platform to do so, because I know a lot of persons respect my opinion and they respect me. So I mean that's me right there.
But this is a situation that ensures just before the Amara situation could happen few weeks ago, there was a meeting called by the interim leadership of the Club President Association.
Okay.
And at that meeting, the meeting minutes that got leaked and we received.
I must have a copy of the minutes.
The president of the Football Association was recommending, proposing the club, hey, this is what we are faced with. We have some challenges here. We do not have money station, subventions, money, you get money. Is it possible we can look in that direction to see how we can get an amulet for the league? Because you see, the first thing the Football Association should have amulets to all of the league game. Granted, that's one point. But the Football Association also saying you must have trained medical practitioners with your club.
Yes.
If you do, because first aid is very important. Exactly. So if Black Men Warriors and their opponent on that day, B Mountain, who have had 3 medical practitioners, first aid were going to be administered. Yeah. I'm not saying that if they're going to administer the first aid, wouldn't have led to what happened. I'm not God. But people must also look in that directions. You must have first aid, trained medical practitioners to look after your club.
I agree.
Because you are not just be holding the LFA feet to fire. And now the president has said, hey, listen, we are faced with challenges here. We do not have money in the bank. I'm going to say it will cost close to 80,000 per ambulance annually. So what we can do as a football association, we have an emergency vehicle response team that will station to league games to mitigate or to avoid the reoccurrence of what happened to Amara. We do not want to see this. We regret. But just my point, when Mr. President said LFA is not a medical institution, this is where I but disappointed with the president.
And
That statement alone, I do not, at some point in time, hey, Mr. President, you have to take the blame. You have to get the balls and take the blame when you fail to provide the necessary things that should be provided for your league. Hey, listen, it is not the medical facility in England. It is not their work to go and provide ambulances for the Premier League games. The Premier League is a league that is being run in the country. And FIFA says, through its medical protocol, you should have ambulance to your league games.
And not just
Every
ambulance,
game.
recognize
certified ambulance to your league games.
medical people recognize and certify.
So will the Premier League come out and tell us, hey, listen, because there was no, because the government failed to get medical or better medical facility or to get an ambulance station. So it was the reason why Bukayo Saka sustained injury that probably led to a death. No, that shouldn't be a point of justification. No, he's saying Parai clinics in the country do not have ambulances. Hospitals in the country do not have ambulances. And the issue about ambulances being at LFA League facility, it should be a holistic fight. Government should get involved. Hey, listen, you are an institution, LFA. You have in your rules and regulations that clubs will be fined.
Club will be fine.
Club will be
fined any
fined.
club? Have you fined any club?
Club will be fined. So this is, I don't know what the clubs owners are even doing.
So,
If they can write a communication to CAF, to inform CAF about what is happening in their league, to say, hey, listen, the FA is finding us, the FA is threatening to find us if we do not have professional medical people. We have acquired the services of professional medical people to work for us. But this is a FA that do not have certified ambulance. Just single one before I say ambulances, to have certified ambulance at the league. Now they're telling us that they will transport people to emergency vehicle. So what happens in Grand Bassel and the Doyle Williams Sports page? Someone get critically injured. So they have to put them in testing.
Yes.
So get no medical equipment for first aid to be done on them.
So the president of the Football Association, he's been a guy or a man, or a gentleman, or a leader. I think the leader is the best word. He's been a leader who he has a history of running away from responsibility, especially when it is bad. I'll give you an example to take responsibility, especially when it is bad. I'll give you an example. When the Under 17 got disqualified, the president of the Football Association blamed the parents.
I know.
He didn't take responsibility as the head of the institution for what had happened, for the national embarrassment that he caused the government of the day.
Knowing fully well you are one of the contributing factors
exactly
to that national environment.
What he did was to blame the parents. The Minister of Youth and Sports at the time, what's his name? Zoga Wilson, called a press conference and said, no, this is disingenuous. The Football Association must first take responsibility and launch an investigation as to why this happened. But we didn't know that some things I was on Wednesday, and former representative Gabriel Yinka called that we need a sports conference, so that we can know what are our problems. And I was like, but firstly, we need any sports conference to know what are the problems facing Liberia in terms of sports. We don't need a conference. I mean, I can write a whole 10 paper and give it to you. If you don't want my view, you can
cash it away.
You can open the solicit views and ask Liberia what are our problems. You don't need even. We had a sports conference 2009 when Mabu Richards was deputy minister. I still remember I covered that conference. Darius Ambrose Man, now he's a councillor. He's the head of the judicial information department at the Supreme Court. All right. The late Alhaji Kroma presented. All right. I think Rodney Wilson was at that conference. Mabu Richard was there. What's his name? Murphy Gray, who is not, and all the people I'm talking about, except for Alhaji Kroma, peace with ashes. every one of us who
Stay alive.
who attended our sports conference at the SKD Ministry of Youth and Sports, we are still alive. So let's go back to what was the outcome from that conference. Let's pick it up. We don't need our problems are here. We know it. We run away from our problems. How come we have a president who is a CAF executive committee member who claims and acts like he knows everything, all right? He's the jack of all trades, master of none. How come he doesn't know what the FIFA medical protocol say? How come he doesn't know that this is what his own rules, the rules that he presided over here, his Secretary General who functions like a conveyor belt. Two of them, the Secretary General, the same. How come the same Secretary General who said that they were procuring ambulances, the same Secretary General who said, sometimes people, what they can do is when you pin them down to the harsh realities of the day, they find escape routes or they call you all sorts of names. So now the president of the Football Association, is now under an immense criticism. So what the president will do is he will blame any and everybody for his inefficiency, and his lack of innovation. One more thing before we run to the lines. The Football Association is clearly in a financial crisis. So when you hear the president telling clubs that they want to use their subvention to buy ambulances, is a manifestation of the financial crisis that has plagued the Football Association. And it goes back to the headquarter project that today, Mr. President, even though he agreed in the management letter, consented, two of his former Secretary Generals have said that the headquarter is no longer a work in progress. The cost is 1.89 million. To this date, the president arrogantly tells us that we should wait for a court ruling from the commercial court to determine the cost of the headquarter. No, Mr. President, the headquarter, the suit between CSAF and the Football Association is not to determine the cost of the headquarter. The suit is to determine what CSAF is claiming in overdues. But you had, as a Football Association, you ignore a free loan from FIFA. You went to GT Bank, took a loan for interest rate for 20%. Thomas, you are my father. You are in America. I'm supposed to do the law entrance. And the entrance is in August, right? Mm-hmm. And I told you, oh, daddy, I have an entrance to write. The entrance is August. When we take the entrance, deadline is July 26th for registration. And you promised me, oh, son, I'll send you the money by May or June. We get in April, I go to a foreign exchange guy, take, a credit, all right, and that incurs an interest in the name that I'm going to register for the law entrance way in August. What is the rationale there? I mean, there's no taking the UL law entrance is not on a life and death situation. The LFA quarter was not in ICU, it was not in intensive care unit. We really need to go after we apply to FIFA for a loan, interest-free loan. We go to GT Bank, take a loan that incurs a 20% interest without the consent of the executive committee. To this date, neither the president nor all those who say the executive committee approved the second loan have been able to provide the minutes from the executive committee meeting. The only minutes that have been provided is the minutes that was that came out or the resolution that agreed that we should go to FIFA for a loan, all right, to complete the headquarter project because of inflationary costs that that was occasioned by COVID-19. To this day, here we are. And I mean, it is not something we can pray for, but we go to league games, there will be no medical facility there. The only time we'll see a medical facility is when FC Fasel plays, because the team was able to buy its ambulance, all right? So every time the Fasel goes to a league game, Fasel goes with their ambulance. That's the only LFA game that we will see ambulances. The president has said he can't avoid it. So clubs, you too, if you don't have certified medical personnel, so be it. The LFA cannot fine you because it cannot live up to its bargain. But it's sad, what would the family of Kamara do? If they ask me, I can provide means for them. We go to the Independent National Human Rights Commission. We write the Ministry of Justice. We can hold the FA through its president responsible for negligent homicide as a result of the death of Amara. And Mr. President, you can speak to Benedict Yasia. He's a lawyer. Ask him what is a negligent homicide. If he agrees, or he disagrees, he can call. We'll provide him the platform to disagree. And you can speak to Judge Joseph Colley. You got another lawyer who was admitted to the Supreme Court bar recently. I saw a post my own good friend, EC member said that you can also speak to him. You can be held, you and the Football Association can be held liable for negligent homicide. But again, Black Men Warriors with his president as Nelson Menye, he does not have the balls to do it. So it's left with whether the family of Amara wants to do it. If they believe so, they can contact me. My number is 0776-236-528. I will provide them with the means to go to the Independent Human Rights Commission. We go to the Ministry of Justice so that we can hold the Football Association responsible for negligent homicide. The Freedom Cash giveaway is ongoing. *799 *14# use $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 to play it. When you play, you'll win 10,000 for yourself this afternoon. It is the Bodoba Jack-Up. Remember, you on the weekend, you're winning 10,000. So all you have to do is to play with *799 *14# $200 Liberian dollars or $1.50. The multiple times you play, you stand a better chance to win. While we were discussing, I was doing draws, giving out money to people, 10%. So far, out of 10, I've given money to 6 already. 10,000 each. So call us on 0776-104-104, 0776-104-104, 0886-500-104. This is the Freedom Weekend Sports. What do you make of the statement of the president of the Liberia Football Association leading to the death of player Amara Kamara? What can we do as a football association to better sports facility? Let me get this person from right here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Your
name, where you join us from?
I'm MS Sako.
Welcome, Sako. Welcome, Sako.
But let me just give my own input on this whole scenario. Personally, I've been sympathy with the player who lost his life.
Okay.
And my condolence go to the people's family.
Okay.
But this situation of playing a league game without medical practitioners, this is very ugly on the country. I must condemn the LFA for that. How can you play on God when you allow the league game? You're supposed to have medical practitioners from both teams. Even medical practitioners coming from the government side to be present before a game can start. When you play a league game.
Hello? Okay, the person seems not to be here. Let's get this person right here. This person from this side. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Your name, where you join us from?
My name is James Pastor, calling from New Georgia Estate.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, I want to say thank you so much to you and your co-host. I really appreciate the fact that you are able to nail everything on the head.
Okay.
All what you said, the FA is quite correct. One person when it comes to that, as young settled and lost his life, I think the FA has to take the responsibility. The guy put it went right thing. If the FA has taken all the necessary steps, back on the club, putting more pressure on them, we are going to get all the necessary things to get their club or their players killed. So whatever the guy said, brother, I want to say thank you. You have made my deal already. So let the FA do the people and do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's get this person right here. Hello? This person. I'm doing good. Your name, where you join us from?
This is Kotimas Gaga, calling for Iron Factory.
Welcome.
Okay, I want to say thank to you and the studio guest there. I want to say thank to you for all the explanation. But I just want to say something. I beg you, you shouldn't feel bad, but I want to say something. And to maybe to the audience, they will need to know.
Go ahead, brother. What have time, Mo?
Yeah, so what I want to say is that if you are going to take the FA president or whosoever, take them back. And the different guilty or whatsoever, we don't bring back the level of the person because in like everything we do, we put this in.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good question.
Hello? Hey, my man. Javasin, Jefferson,
Yeah, hello?
when we go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for your analysis. And one of the major things we can see on the football game, most of the kids that can play, there's no amulet. There's no God to turn for vision. Don't want to say the entire football.
Okay, call us on 0776-104-104. We're out of time. The cash giveaway is ongoing. I don't know if John and Sylvester will want to participate. I don't know if I can get him. Sylvester, you want to participate on the show or you want to tell me privately? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Let me say thanks for the education you provided. Bravo to Stanislas Marquez.
Okay.
Bravo to you. And then I think these are the type of information we need to provide to the public rather than being single to the government or other associations we are connected to. I was one of the first to react to Harry's story or Facebook post because I said he was trying to affect the whole situation on the LFA to the government of yesterday.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that last day, but I think the LFA did not focus on issue bagging.
Okay.
It is confined within the rules of the rules, and that's in the rules of the league, that the LFA should provide ambulances at match venues. In fact, LFA administration, you don't have to go and purchase ambulance at $80,000. You could agree or enter into an MOU with institution at the Red Cross.
But the men say all effort they feed it did not come to reality. Well, Red Cross, they've been unsuccessful.
But the Ministry of Youth and Sports just organized a national counter sports meeting.
And they were able to get Red Cross.
The ministry did not go to purchase ambulance for $80,000. We had the EMS ambulance station at all of the quarterfinal, semi-final, and grand final match at the SKB. That was an MOU entered into because the ministry is very well aware that yes, the nearly ambulance at the sports venue at the SKB Sports Complex. So let Mathieu really put it. I think the LFA should take some blame and see how best they can take compensation to the family of Kamara. It was a negligence on the part of the LFA that led to the death of the player, and they should pay compensation to the Kamara family.
Okay, Sylvester.
That's not going to be done.
Thank you very much, Sylvester Wowi. That's squeeze in this person. What a time totally. Hello? 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 Yeah, Nima, where you join us from? Okay, go ahead. I mean, very low.
Put mechanism in place in terms of at least providing healthcare services when it comes to every kid.
Okay.
All right, because actually it would be good. But
Okay.
then if you're not suppress the thing to bring a medical person, or if they are not bringing the medical person, that is fine. Where if they are not making any intervention to bringing the care services what the government is talking about. So that makes sure you be taking hard from the LFA.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Tanisha, let's just wrap up. We're out of time already.
Yeah, so to that, the caller before,
asking if
yes,
even
so
if Raji
yes,
is taking
yes,
his guilty, if the person's life will be
all around the world, in all examples, people who have died and lawsuits have been taken against. I mean, it's, for example, a policeman shoots me, I'm your son. You go to court, the man is found guilty for murder. It doesn't bring me back, so Amara is not going to come back. What it's going to do is it serves as a deterrent, because the president or the football association, they were criminally negligible, and negligent homicide is a criminal charge brought against a person who through criminal negligence allows another person to die. So the football association was criminally negligible in providing their bargaining of what the FIFA medical protocol says and what is enshrined in its own rules. So it demonstrated gross and criminal negligence. So yes, we can sue the Football Association. They can pay damages, and then next time, it will provide for what is contained in the rules and what FIFA is not stupid. FIFA knows that people come to play football either through playing football or before coming to play football, they may have come with one or two, complications, and they will need, medical provision. Lastly, before I go, two things. When I hear my two young, and I'm reading what Fatu has written. Fatu, I'm going to Prime FM. You are invited 4 to 6. You can come to say what you know. The radio, I say this, and maybe people think it's for fun. Come to the radio. The radio is a exchange, is a place for the exchange of is a marketplace for the exchange of ideas. If you strongly disagree with me, don't be writing in chat room, don't be writing on the live feeds. Come, let's go on radio. You say your own, I say my own, and then the public be the judge. That's how to do it. I don't say things because I hate you or because you didn't give me $5. I say it based on research and speaking with experts. Since Amara passed, I have spoken to a number of lawyers. I have researched on my own. Look, Wankun Kanu, right, who have died if Inter Milan did not have a medical facility to detect heart attack. The question is, did Kanu have the heart attack before going to Inter Milan? Or, like I said, I came with a whole examples, but time could not permit, So I believe, and having spoken to lawyers, the Football Association can be held responsible for negligent homicide. Bene Yasia is the in-house lawyer at the Football Association. Seya Jratek, he was just recently admitted as a counselor at law, the Supreme Court Bar. Judge Joseph Colley, is another seasoned lawyer. The president can speak to the three of them, and if they disagree with me, they can give a response to their media department, to put it out. I mean, I'm open to correction.
Let's go, Danisha.
Yeah, but I think, thank you.
Yes, this is the weekend sports, so we'll be on Prime, hopefully this evening with our colleague Marcus Solomon. Until then, my name is Thomas Kojo. The cash giveaway is ongoing. 10,000 off of gas the afternoon. *799 *14#. Use 200 LD. All $1.50. You win the Freedom Jump Up. As the matter of fact, give you a mother about this evening. Until then, we'll be on Prime this evening. Bye bye.
Be